Today I made $200 doing the exact opposite of what I did 60 seconds earlier on the previous trade. Most beginner traders can't make this flip. Let me show you how and why I could. So let me start with the loss because that's where the real lesson is. So I'm looking at my NinjaTrader setup. Here is that screenshot within TradeZella, my journal that I did for this losing trade, which I lost $76 on. And what I observed here at the key levels indicator, right now we have the overnight high and the previous day close with price falling below that. And I am observing that along with the point of control from the previous day on Friday with strong buyer delta here, which to me was thinking, if they can't chew through this, we're going to go down. And admittedly, now I make a mistake. Looking at my footprint indicator, I see that there's starting to be strong selling happening here. Along with my cumulative delta indicator, we see this large impulse of selling to the downside. Now, there's a red flag here, though. Their seller volume is being absorbed. And so I'm kind of front running a trade here. I'm expecting something to happen instead of listening to all of my signals. And what I was thinking was that we come down here to the zero print as a first profit target, potentially hit this volume profile seller delta and then the VWAP. But this trade did not work out. And I took a loss here at my stop here above that high a day. And this is where being direction agnostic pays off. Honestly, in the previous trade, I probably had a bit of a bias and I was hoping for a pullback so that I could then take a larger trade to the upside with a pullback to that zero print or even VWAP. But here now, I'm paying better attention to my indicator and looking at the Footprint Pro indicator where I see absorbed sellers here as well. And now I'm also observing that there is a stacked buyer volume imbalance zone here. And this tells me it looks like it's on like Donkey Kong, right? We're clearing the overnight high, the previous day close on my key levels indicator. And I also observe on the volume profile indicator that I built out that we also have the value area high, which is being cleared by price. And we're well above the previous day volume profile point of control and all of this buyer delta here. So we've chewed through the liquidity. And now I'm targeting a move to the upside because we've cleared these four key levels here. And I see an additional what, which is the absorbed sellers and the strong buyers with the stacked volume imbalance. So that's my starter position. And now here's a key for me that I'm trying to develop this brand new mindset where in the past, when I was a beginning trader, I may have added to a loser thinking, hey, there's a discount here on price. I'm going to buy these cheap seats here because this is going to really pay off. And I'm going to really, average costs down on this. But now I'm thinking more in the lines of instead of adding to losers and taking bigger losses, let's add to my winners. And so as price progressed, I saw we had additional absorbed sellers here. And even we have an absorbed buyer here on this bar at 200 plus. To me, I'm seeing this is just really strong volume that the buyers are absorbing all of the sellers. Even down here, I see in the cumulative delta indicator that the cumulative delta is pretty much flat here. And price is still moving up, absorbing sellers. So what I did is I add my full position size here. So now I have 6 micro contracts. And the other thing I did is I moved my stop loss up. So I'm taking the same amount of risk, but with twice the amount of contracts and half the point size. Before, for my starter, my stop loss was at 6966. I was bringing this, below this key level here and area where I saw some stronger buying. And for the add, I moved that up to 6971, which is, clearing this key level here and bringing it up even above closer to this value area high on today's volume profile. So this is making hay while the sun is shining. When I see my edge playing out, that's when I hit the gas, not when I'm underwater. And so this position management completely has changed my trading. Instead of averaging down into losing trades, which is just throwing good money after bad, now I'm scaling into winners when the market confirms I'm right. My stop loss moves up with my adds, and my risk does not increase, but my profit potential explodes. That $200+ profit on 0.8 points you see here. Half of that came from the ads I made after the trade was already working. I'm in the green here. In this trade, you'll see, I don't think it really ever dipped into the red. Yeah, look at this. You see here, this is when I added here. I'm already in the green, up $75, and I'm adding now twice the size and doubling my position to maximize my profits. And so that's the difference between hoping and knowing, between guessing and reading the institutional order flow. When you have clear data that's showing buyer absorption, like here in the Footprint Pro, and support on the key levels, like I have in the Key Levels Pro, and the volume profile with the value area high, you can really take these setups with confidence. I think that's something in the past I had problems with before I developed these indicators. I just didn't have faith in my setups. And now I have faith in my setups. And I see when I take a poor trade, like on this previous one, it really wasn't the strongest setup, to be honest. I have a signal right here that seller's being absorbed. So right here, I'm already not listening to my indicator, and I paid the price for that. So if you want to see what I see, the absorption, the confluence zones, the exact moment when to add to winners, I have a 14-day free trial, and you get to try this free for 2 weeks to see if this methodology works with your trading. 3 indicator bundle right now is a little over 150, but if you add the coupon Copilot 40 at checkout, you get 40% off, and all 3 indicators come in at under $100. So it's a great deal, and as you can see, you can make that up in 1 day of trading. So if you want to see what I see, the absorption, the confluence zones, the exact moment when to add to winners, I have a 14-day free trial, and you get to try this free for 2 weeks to see if this methodology works with your trading. 3 indicator bundle right now is a little over 150, but if you add the coupon Copilot 40 at checkout, you get 40% off, and all 3 indicators come in at under $100. So it's a great deal, and as you can see, you can make that up in 1 day of trading. And if this strategy on scaling into winners instead of losers clicked for you, hit subscribe. I post the losses too. That's where the real lessons are. But it's also good to go over the winners. So if this strategy of scaling into winners instead of your losers has clicked for you, hit subscribe. There's real lessons here in the winners and the losers. You can see even from the trade we reviewed today, that $70 loss, in hindsight, that was not a strong trade. And I learned from that and will avoid making that mistake in the future. So if this strategy of scaling into winners instead of your losers has clicked for you, hit subscribe. There's real lessons here in the winners and the losers. You can see even from the trade we reviewed today, that $70 loss, in hindsight, that was not a strong trade. And I learned from that and will avoid making that mistake in the future. Stay safe out there and happy trading.